right. Good evening, everyone. And today, I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Ishani. I'm one of the trainers as well as director at Ivy Pro School. Today's being Teachers Day, I have received a lot of good wishes on my WhatsApp message, a lot of messaging coming from the students. So this Teachers Day, we thought we are going to reverse the process. Instead of getting gifts, I thought let's give the gift, and that is going to be this webinar. So a lot of people keep asking this question, is AI going to take away the jobs in analytics? And that's a fear that everyone has. And in today's webinar, the main purpose is to show that how AI can increase your productivity rather than taking away your basic work. So I work as a BI analyst, and honestly, there is not even a single day where I'm not using AI to work and increase my productivity. So something that would have taken days based on research and then jotting down notes and summarizing it and then converting into work, it now takes us half an hour, 1 hour of good AI usage, right? So when you talk about productivity, first thing is, where do you think we spend most of our time? I have put down 5 things that I spend most of my time on. Where do you think you put your most of the time as a, you might be a student, you might be a working professional. Where does the time go? I'm sure you have had your days when you started the day and it's already 7 p.m. and then you're like, oh my God, nothing got achieved. Where did the time go? So I'll tell you for me, I think most of the time goes in emails. A lot of time goes in emails. I get a lot of emails from people. I need to reply. I need to work based on the emails I've received. Meetings keep happening. On an average, 2 to 3 meetings are always there. A lot of analysis has to be done, whether it's an internal data or it's a project we are working on, or it's like a training data analysis that we're doing. A lot of reporting needs to be done and a lot of WhatsApp messages these days. So most of the work is around things that are mandatory or required, but can we bring efficiency to these 5 components? Yes or no? Okay. So what I've done is I've broken down them into different 3 main categories, and we're going to discuss one by one which tools typically I would use and how do I use them. So in AI productivity framework, like I said, I would like to divide this entire thing into 3 parts. Number one is automation. Things that I can automate, repetitive task. I don't want to go through it again and again. I want to automate those processes so that every time I start my work, this work is already done. Second is augmentation. Augmentation means I keep telling all my the candidates who are coming at IB and learning data science, data analytics, AI, Gen AI, that use AI as a buddy where I need someone to just say, hey, what do you think about this? Or what is your thought on this topic? So rather than finding and looking for that buddy in your team members, now AI has replaced that and it helps you to enhance your thought process. Go back and forth with your thoughts, with your ideas, and it can come up with new things. It might explain why your thought process is not correct. Like I was trying to, before I started this webinar, I was working on creating a like personalized GPT, where I've been working on it for past 3 days, and trust me, the kind of conversation I'm having, and when I talk to my team members about this particular work, I say today it's not listening to me, it's forgotten all my instructions, just like how I would address a human and tell that what a person has not done or a team member has not done. So that's how the AI tools also should be, right? And the third one is acceleration. This is where I think it has done a fantastic job in accelerating reducing the amount of work, the time that we are spending on a lot of things. I have a lot of examples. Like I told you, I work as a BI analyst. I've created dashboards. I'm not a great designer. Sometimes my information flow or the choice of words is not the greatest, being an engineer. So this is where AI has helped me a lot. The words that I'm using may not be very appropriate in the sense it might not, like for me, I think yes, people should understand because I understand that language and the choice of words, but a business user may or may not understand. So if I tell who is my business user, who is my stakeholder, who is involved in the project, it actually helps me to modify those tags, to refine it, to make it look professional, to make it look shorter, and I've got great results based on that. I've also brainstormed a lot with the AI in which I understand the design layout of my dashboard. So all these things, rather than me doing 10 different iterations, showing it to the client and first creating those iterations, right? I take help of AI to do that for me now. So automation, augmentation, and acceleration, I think, are the main areas of our AI productivity. Now, when you talk about everyday work, one place where I found AI to be very effective is, let's say I went on a vacation for 10 days. There's a project where a lot of email exchange happened between my team and my client's team. Now, I've been looking at the conversations on my phone, checking my emails. However, now that I return back to work, I would like a synopsis of it so that I'm not missing on any point and then take an action based on that. So, should I be going through all the chain email and reading each and everything? Because sometimes our emails are very long, a lot of instructions are there, or can I take advantage of AI over here? Right. So, I have taken this small Word document as an example. Let's say I'm going to copy this and it comes from multiple people, multiple conversations are happening. Now that I have this, what I want to do is I want to go back. Either you can use ChatGPT or let's say we are going to use Gemini and ask it to summarize. Now, the key over here, a lot of people say that I'm also using AI, but I don't get the results that I want, right? So a lot is concerned with the prompt that you're giving to Gemini or any AI tool for that matters. The more detailed prompt you give, the better output it gives. So I'm going to give it a prompt that can you summarize this chain email with the dates and final action points, right? So what is important to me is I want a summary. I want dates to who said what on what date, and I want to now understand what's my final action point that has to be taken, right? So I've given this long email to it. Nowadays, AIs are also thinking a little bit more than they used to. And I don't know about you, but I think they have refined quite a bit. So timeline events on 29th this happened, 30th this happened, 31st happened. Final action point, Rohit Sharma will finalize the report with the updated numbers and edit and share it with leadership by Monday. So in short, rather than going through the entire chain mail, just I copy paste it and I've got the summary very quickly over here, right? So this is one use case. Second use case is meeting notes that are there, right? Lot of time, again, I'm not going to play this clip for you, but I'm just, what I'm going to do is, let's say I went to a client site where I had a long conversation. Let's say when the knowledge transfer happened, we have very long conversation, 1 hour, 1.5 hours. And again, to go through that audio once again, it's a lot of effort that we have to put. Now, is it possible to summarize my audio file over here and make it easier and faster for me to work? Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this file. Okay, this is like an actual audio. It's a lot of experimentation. So this is like an actual audio file I've attached. Can you summarize this audio file for me? Right? So the great part is it can also summarize the audio files. So all the long conversations on the phone or when we are meeting face to face and we have recorded all those audio files, now just sitting in our phone or in our laptops are of no use, but it gives me a output over here, right? So I don't have to listen to it. And can you make the summary in bullets and brief? So the more prompting you do, the better it gets. And then after a while, it knows exactly what kind of outputs you want. So some of the GPTs that we have at IB, since we have been working with that GPT for past 2 years, now it has trained itself very well to give us very accurate answers and very less input from our. So the core intent, course module clarification, what was the outcome? Everything has been summarized in a proper heading that has coming to over here, right? So this is the place where I wanted to talk about that typical stuff like email drafting, summarizations. Emails also can look better and more professional with less grammatical mistakes. Meeting notes, action points, it could be recordings that we have that can be converted into summaries. Um, Another thing is over here, um, one second. Okay. One more, let's talk about one more thing under meeting notes and action points. I'm sure all of you very frequently visit YouTube for learning videos. Yes, I have few people I've subscribed. I frequently go and visit those channels to see, okay, what's coming up next? What's the latest thing people are talking about? What's the point of interest in our industry these days? So sometimes I'm listening to them while I'm in the car traveling from office to home and vice versa. But I really wished, if there was a way that it could just summarize the entire video for me in very easy to make notes, right? Specifically when you're trying to learn something new. Let's say I wanted to understand about what is AI agents, or what is agentic AI, right? So there is a long 1 hour video. Sometimes I'm listening, sometimes I'm fading. And at the end of the day, I'm pausing and creating my own notes. So is the way that our notes can be created from YouTube channel for me. So then I found this very nice uh, AI called Swift Notes, right? So in Swift Notes, what I did was I picked one of the videos on Udemy analysis using SQL done by one of the students at Ivy. And I put the URL and I said generate notes, right? The best thing I liked about this particular AI was it generates the notes. It tells you at what points in your YouTube what will be present, what tools and workflow or design or all this is nice. But what I loved about it was the fact that it can create something called Quiz Me. So it will quiz based on what video it is there. It summarizes your notes and it can create a quick quiz for you for your better understanding. So, for example, what is the primary purpose of SQL based analysis described in the case study? So, it gives me choices, and let's say identify, okay, this is the correct answer. And next, then it gives me more. It is talking about, since it was a case study, so it's talking about the outcomes of the case study. So very nice website called Swift Notes converts your YouTube videos, long, lengthy YouTube videos into summaries, which you can copy paste in a PPT. You can copy paste in your Word documents, download the PDF, and not only that, helps you to create a quiz, which again helps you to recap what were the essential portions of this YouTube video. Okay. Next thing we'll talk about is a research assistant. Now, what is going on these days that pretty much all the businesses initially probably which were not very data savvy are also become very data savvy, and they are asking a lot of in my case I create dashboards and automate reports, so they're asking for a lot of things that probably is not under my that I've not done previously, or it's not something that I've not studied, right? I'm an engineer. So my studies is very different than what a person in probably manufacturing industry might ask, or someone in the HR might ask, or someone in the finance might ask. So the first thing, let's say somebody asks me to create a talent dashboard, right? Or somebody is asking me to do a visualization on a market research data related to anime. So whatever the case be, what I need to understand first of all are what are the main KPIs for the business. Second thing I need to understand is what will be the main objective I need to talk about in my visuals that is going to be of importance to the stakeholders that are there. Now, sometimes it's easy depending on what data set and what industry it is. Sometimes it's not that straightforward. Okay, so what do we do? Over here, I have taken a small example and I'm going to copy paste back in Gemini. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Gemini, you can use the other tools. And what this says is, I'm going to show it to you. It says, I'm a BI analyst. So first I define my role, very important in prompt engineering. Who you are should be given. I'm going to start a project for talent management for a large organization, right? And instead of saying I'm going to start a project, I should have written, I want to create a Power BI dashboard. And what are the main objectives I should try and find for the stakeholders? I have employee data and the performance data. So I've told what I have, who am I, for who I'm creating, and what I'm creating. So just basic step of as much detailed information you can give to your GPTs, it becomes better over there, right? Now over here, I'm just going to paste it in a Word document since it's not. It's taking it as picture. It's not a picture though. And let's paste it over here. Just going to modify it a bit. So I'm going to start a Power BI dashboard project for talent management, and let's see what it gives us an output. So who is the client? What am I doing? Who am I? And what are my objectives? And what is the input that I already have? What do I have? Is also given in this particular prompt. So it is going to do a research for me and make me understand. And the best part is you can go back and forth in your conversations, right? So now it is telling me what is the KPI that I need. Um, and to make it even better, I think I'm going to refine it further. This was my initial one. So the better prompting you give. Now, why I'm not happy with what I'm getting, I'll explain to you. Because it gives me things like who's a top performer, who's a bottom performer. Now, if it is a size of, let's say, 5,000 people in an organization, multiple divisions, multiple levels, then it makes no sense to look at top and bottom performer. So what it is given me right now is a very, very basic output. It has not given me very business type output to me. So I'm going to modify it a little bit, saying I'm a BI analyst and just going to work on this. This is a overview of. This looks like an overview. The main stakeholder is the VPHR. Guide me to create the dashboard such that the VPHR is able to get insights and take an action.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I think there is a network issue in your side, ma'am, because the video is lagging. It's slow, ma'am.
What about others? Is the video lagging for everyone?
Not much, ma'am.
No. Okay. Not much, or it is lagging? A little
Yeah,
bit
it is
lagging is
lagging a
going on.
little bit.
It is lagging a little bit. Okay. All right. Pratyush is also there. He's a team member at Ivy. Pratyush, can you tell me about the video lag? See, lagging might happen because of two reasons, my network or your network. So that's why I'm asking more people to understand. So the more you keep on talking to the, it has reached, I've kept working on it. So anyways, the more you keep talking to your GPTs, the better they keep on becoming, right? So this is another example I had on research assistant. Let it be your research assistant and let it figure it out. A lot of things that we might require. Through Google, when we used to do, the problem was it used to send us to 10 different places. Some were relevant, some were not relevant. You had to be the person who picks, chooses, and decides what's relevant. Collate that data, and then your basis of your research got created. Nowadays, we don't have to do that. We can tell all these AI tools to go through multiple websites, collate all the data, summarize it, make it short, make it in bullets, and give us an output. Now, as a business analyst, as a BI analyst, what are the use cases that I've seen or what I use on a daily basis in my work? Right? Number one, I'll tell you the tools I use. Typically, I use Excel, I use Power BI, I use Tableau, I use VBA, and a little bit of Python. So five tools that I currently work on. Now, I know the Excel part, I know formulas, I know the functions, I know mixing of the functions, but sometimes the business problems that are given to us are not very straightforward, or let's put it in the other way. Today, my mind is not working. I've got a brain fog. I am not able to think straight and find a solution for my problem. Then what do we do? Again, AI comes to rescue for that. So I have been using Excel and AI. A lot of AI component is there in Excel. You will find a lot of videos done by Ivy on our YouTube channel where we are talking about Excel and in AI, AI in Excel. And what I'm going to show you today is how can I ask AI to generate formulas for me. And the funny thing is, I was doing this workshop with Tata Powers, and they wanted me to introduce the concept of using chat GPTs and like to the audience to make them understand that tools basic foundation you have, and you give the complex things to the GPTs, they give you good answers. So when I explained them how you can use chat GPT to get your formulas, they all laughed and said, why did you waste the first 7 hours? This was the most important component, right? So how do we do it? Again, more information you give. Now when you're talking about Excel and AI, what is the information I need to give? I need to give it a table structure, right? So if somebody also calls me and says, Shani, I'm stuck here, I need your help, I first thing I ask is the table structure. Data is not that important. Few rows of data, 3 4 rows of data, and that also should not be given of your business into chat gpts, but it could be a dummy data sets that you're creating. 3 4 lines is good enough. 3 4 lines of data to show, okay, these are the headers, these are the data types that I'm getting, and a good prompt. So in this case, again, what I've done is, so that I don't miss on the examples that I want to show to you guys, I've created inserted small files inside it. So this is the data. Like I said, data doesn't have to be huge. Data doesn't have to be your company's. Never ever upload your company's data over here, right? So I've had a question like, okay, there are employee IDs, there are certain join dates, there are people who left have exit dates, and there are departments, right? Now, what is the question? Question is, let's say what I have to calculate is that I want to write an Excel formula that calculates the percentage attrition in Feb 2023. Now, what is attrition? People who left divided by the people who are there. That's called attrition. So this prompt I am going to copy. and I'm going to give it to my chat GPT. Okay, let's, okay. So over here, I'm going to give the prompt, right? And if the data set, like I said, doesn't have to be a big one, I'm just going to go ahead and paste this data so that it also understands what's a basic structure. So formulas are everywhere, functions are everywhere. Very important thing is that you have to mention which tool you are asking for. Otherwise, it gives you a lot of choices and it might be that your choice of tool is not even there. So I said, write an Excel formula to calculate what I need. The columns given are this, and the sample data is given. Let's see what it does. So I told you what is attrition. It is people who exited in Feb 23 divided by the total employee of Feb 23, right? Now, what are the functions being used? Countifs. What does the countif do? Countifs counts based on condition. So first it counted the number of employees exited using this function. Then it counted the average number of employees in Feb 23 who joined on or before Feb or and no exit or exited before. So people exit and people join in also, right? But people who joined after Feb should not be counted. So I want the people who joined before Feb and the people who did not exit till the end of Feb. So sometimes these kind of logics don't strike you that okay, I should only consider people who joined before Feb. Simply we put a count and we get the number of employees, and then it doesn't really match our business reports, right? So what it has done, given me the both the formulas, and since I had given a small table, so it has already done the cell referencing. Now all I have to do is copy paste this formula and change my cell referencing as per my data that's there. Or if you're creating tables in Excel, refer to the columns of your table. All you have to do is copy this. I'll go back and let's say this is where I want to put it and I want to paste it. It has done the reference of the right column because a picture was given to it, and it has given me the output as 50. Let's make it this divided by this into 100. Okay, so into 100 is something I don't like, so I'm just going to remove it, and it gave me zero point 0.5. And when you do a proper formatting, it shows 50% of people exited in Feb 23. Now this is this data. If you include more data and just change the cell references, your data is ready to use. Now ChatGPT not only gives you these formulas, but also gives you an explanation. So if you want an explanation like, okay, what is the role of countifs? Why have you used countifs and why can't I use just one single countif? It'll go ahead and give you all the explanations for better understanding of those formulas. Make sense? Same thing, like I showed you in Excel, Power BI DAX functions. I don't know if you have experienced Power BI. People love Power BI when we create simple solutions and visuals. But as soon as the use cases of Power BI come, which requires extensive DAX usage, that's a time people find little tough to follow through. So again, create your foundations through the programs like we have in IB. Once you have the foundation, and when you want to understand a complex tax, use AI over there. Now, with your foundational knowledge and with the help of AI, you create robust formulas, which again, since the foundational knowledge is there, you will be able to understand, implement, and use it. So, again, giving an example, right? I wanted to write a measure in Power BI that calculates monthly customer retention rate. Now, what is a retention rate? Customers who purchased this month and last month. So retention is a continuation, a person who is still with your business. So someone who purchased this much, someone who purchased last month also, divided by customers who purchased last month. So I get my retention, right? So I've explained the function. If you don't give the formula and you just say calculate retention, it will calculate that for you also. And again, what is important is I have given that my table has sales, And it has customer column, it has date column, it has amount column, and I have a date table. So I've told which tables I have, what are the headers or what are the fields in that table. Let's see what it does. I'm going to copy this, go to ChatGPT and paste it. So main thing, I've asked it to create a DAX. Number two, I told the tool in which I want to work with, Power BI. Number three, I gave the formula or the function what I wanted to work with. Number four, I told which tables and which are the columns present in the table. So it gives me more accurate and better output. So more information you feed in, the more accurate outputs you get. Let's see what's the output it's going to give us. I started creating DAX, building monthly retention DAX, and it would create in such a way that it is more user friendly so that next month also it works very well. It's not going to be static to a particular month. It has done a usage of variables, which are part of your DAX functions. It has used functions like end of month, max, start of month, max, EO month. Then it has used calculate table, distinct dates between. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 different functions to give me this robust formula. And then it also makes me understand properly what's going on. So again, could I have created this? Yes, I could. But can I make my work faster? Absolutely. I just need to be smart enough to verify also whether this code that has been generated is correct or not. So that comes from your basic knowledge, right? AI is just making it the work faster. So if I know what EO month is, what end of month is, what start of month is, I don't need to think again, read upon it. So I can just verify, okay, this is going to give me this, and yes, it is giving me the right answer. I'm simply going to copy the code and paste it where the measures are written in Power BI. Right? So all these complexity, instead of you doing it, let AI do for you. And you should be a validator. Yes, what it is written is as per what I need. It is talking about the columns that I need, that I need to understand. All right. So this is Excel AI work that I do. I mix Power BI and AI for my DAX generation. And again, don't know your experience, but in my experience, a lot of time, I'll give you a very recent example. What had happened, I had copy pasted a table from an email and pasted in my Excel. Now, I've been working on Excel for past 23, 24 years. But whatever cleaning I could have thought of, I had applied. And there was no way I could clean the data. I could not understand. Now, Python, I'm a relatively newer user of Python. My base has always been on Excel, Power BI, Tableau, VBA. And I wanted to know if Python can do that cleaning for me, right? Now I'm not a user of Python, so I don't know how to write a code, but I made some people help me to download visual codes and things like that. Now, how did we work on this? Let's see. So again, I am going to take this data set. I gave a data set to it over here where I said, okay, this is the customer name, this is the name. Now, the problem in name is the cases are not consistent and there are a lot of spaces at the end, in the beginning, there are a lot of spaces, so you got to remove it. Then emails were not consistent. Some of them had com, some of them did not have .com. The purchase amount was missing, and the dates. These are the demons. The dates are in all different format. So should I do it? If it is a data set that is not very, how do I say, something that doesn't matter if it's on the web or if it's something that will be available on web and somewhere else, then I would say simply copy it, right? And instead of even learning what is a Python code for it, I would simply give this data over here. And then simply type it over here. Can you write a Python code for cleaning this data, right? Also, give me the clean data set. Okay. Now let's see. So I've asked for both the things, Python code also, and I've asked for cleaning the data set also. So if it's a sample data like we did in Excel, then you definitely need to know the code. So ask for the code. And if this is the entire data set and you want it to be clean, then it will give you the clean data as well. So it's still working. And the beauty of this is that even if you don't understand too much, it will actually tell you what are the problems. Like it says, what it has done is standardize all emails. .com was missing. Standardize all dates to year, months, and date. Filled missing names with unknown. So instead of having a missing value, it's written unknown, and replace missing purchase with a zero. Right now, you can use a clean data set. Do you want me to put this in CSV? So if you say yes, then it will do it. But it has not given me the Python code. Give me the Python code to clean this file. So it just cleaned the data and returned the data, told me what were the problems. And now it is generating the script of Python script for me. So in this Python script, it talks about date format, email, incomplete emails, missing names in emails, missing purchase amount, and what treatment has been done. So all I have to do is copy this, put it in visual code, and then just run it. Right? Now the last part where we are going to what we're going to talk about today is again something related. So all the things I'm using today is related to my work. Creative communication use cases. Um, Gone are the days where you could use basic simple English and it was okay. Now what we have to use very powerful punchlines when we are doing reports, when we're doing presentations, so that it makes an impact on the end users. And this is one place where I think it has helped me in a phenomenal way, where I can put my thoughts, my ideas into simple English in bullets, and I can tell it to convert it into an impactful English, or convert my presentations into good looking presentation, something that will make an impact on the higher up management. So it can draft slides in minute. Now I don't think so we should give a topic and it is going to create. Content creator is you, still us. We only have to create content. But how do I present that content, or to check completeness of that content? A lot of websites are there, right? So I generally tend to put all my content in a like a Word document saying slide 1.123, slide 2.123, give to the AI tool, and then it converts it into a PowerPoint. I'll give you an example. Like this PPT that I had prepared, then I gave it to this particular website called Presentations AI, right? I'm just going to show you what it did to the PPT I gave. So let's say I'm going to present. So my opening was okay. This was good, something unique. 10x productivity with AI, right? A strategic framework for modern professionals. So this I would not think of. I had thought of 10x productivity with AI and I stopped there. But now AI is helping me to refine it in a better way. Then if I go forward, it has put all the transitions. And this is the same content I had given to you, productivity challenges where time is lost. So I didn't say that. I said, where does the time go in a typical workday? But it says where time lost, making more impact on the words that this is something we all need. Common time traps in modern workday. So things that it is adding on top of what I'm saying, this is what makes an impact. Now, whenever you do presentations, whenever you create dashboards, I always tell everyone, think of a newspaper. If the headline is not impressive, if that doesn't impress you, you will not read it. Same thing happens when you're presenting data to someone. If that is not impressive, you will not be captured. Your attention won't be there. Your focus won't be there. Now, if I say common time traps, time is lost. Using some negative words, I'm going to make you push you to understand what I'm trying to convey today. Right? So it made an excellent PPT. Some things I gave. It put animation, it has put all the transitions. Now, I did not make this, it added on to it. So, AI Advantage, your new copilot, elevate your workflow through intelligent automation. Right, so it has given me all the icons. It has created it used my words, automate, augment. Right, it has used all those things and created more text around it. And this is what I loved. I only showed you, okay, email management is a problem. What do you do? But it converted into a beautiful table, which is easier to understand. Email management is a function. Auto draft emails, summarize threads. This is what AI can do for you. What is the impact of that? Since it can auto draft email and summarize, it reduces my inbox overload, saves hours of week, right? Automated notes, that example I gave you, generates meeting recaps and action points, improves productivity and follow-ups. So this is the power of AI. It goes beyond your typical thought process and can add on. I'm not saying don't do anything. Just give it a topic, it will create PPT. It might not be able to give that PPT to you to that level. But if you do a basic groundwork, basic work that you've given, I've given some bullet points, it can build on top of it in a much better way with much better language that has an impact. Right? So all these things, I gave it my data, my bullets, and it created it for me. Content generation, visual design, audience insights, put everything over here, measuring 10x, KPIs and metrics, implementation challenges and leadership solution. This was not even a part of my text, but it added on when I gave a context for whom I'm giving it, because I had given it a prompt that I'm creating it for modern day professionals. So it added all these things, how to strategic recommendations for adoption of AI, lead the team into AI, again, things that I'm not given, and it added and merged all the things. Right? So this was the entire agenda for today, and it can also help you in creating, like I was telling, the headlines of your visuals to make it instead of a boring visual, convert it into a very compelling, easy to understand, and impactful story. So these are some use cases, and all these use cases I thought of sharing with you in today's workshop was something that I use on a daily basis. So AI is a friend, not an enemy. AI can't do everything. It needs a lot of input from you to get you a very good output. Main purpose of AI is to increase your productivity by being someone you can talk to, can summarize faster, can help you with better words, can do a little bit of analysis, a lot of cleaning and data structuring. So that reduces your work which is not directly an analyst work. Indirectly it comes into our portfolio that we have to clean the data before we can analyze. So all these things, let's pass it on to AI to do this work for us. Right? Any questions you guys have for today? Anything you would like to share that, okay, I use this AI and reduce my work? Nothing? All right. I hope you enjoyed today's workshop. And you would takeaways, if I have to say, is number one, understand what all use cases we have to use AI in our daily work. Number one. Number two, what how to write prompts. The way we have to write prompts is very important. What are the key components of the prompts that we have? And number three, I spoke about 2 or 3 platforms. So those can be used for easily doing your work. All right. And so thank you, Sandeep. So, like I said, today's Teachers' Day, we are doing a role reversal. Instead of getting gifts from you, I want to give a gift, and I want to give a gift of learning. And so today we have an offer going on, and there's a form that has been put in the chat window. If you're interested in being a part of the learning journey at Ivy Pro School, who we have been the pioneers in analytics training, they've been there for 17 years, among the top 10 from the beginning of the ranking. If you want to be a part of the journey of becoming a data scientist, data analyst, BI analyst, or a Gen AI expert, please fill in the form and someone from my team will be reaching out to you. All right. Thank you so much, and you all have a good evening. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.